just want to say a couple things about pilot season. If you have an agent, great, we're going to talk about it. If you don't have an agent, great, we're going to talk about it. And if you have an agent or a manager and you're not getting out, great, we're going to talk about it. But first, I just want to say this thing really quickly about booking jobs. I had breakfast with two of my really good casting director friends today, and they basically are all casting directors are saying the same thing. And I said to them, well, let me just ask you, because I'm always saying this, but let me just hear it from, the wolf's den. What is it that makes somebody book the job? And it's just really not rocket science. It's what I keep telling you to do. They're like, you know what? Somebody stands out when they just do it their way. Just do it your way, which is what you're being taught to do. And they said the reason why most people don't get a call back or don't get the job is because they're not memorable. And why are you not memorable? Because you're doing it the way you think they want you to do it. They don't have an idea about how they want you to do it. Even if they're saying it, it's an essence match with choices. And actually, choices aren't the way we think they are in our head. Choices are born out of the moment. And so what I think is interesting is if you can just go in and give yourself the permission to do it your way, you're going to stand out. And even if it's not quote-unquote the right choice, what she says is, in the room, they see a strong choice, then they're going to give you an adjustment, maybe based more on what they're thinking about or where they want the scene to go, or maybe the notes that the director is giving. Getting an adjustment from a choice, even if they tell you that's not the right choice, is golden. That's what you want. So it just keeps coming back to, you've got to get rid of this idea of there's a right way, or they know what they're looking for. They don't. They don't until you meet the role. I mean, George Clooney says it. He's like, don't you think acting is really just about when your essence meets the right role, you get the job? For those of you who have an agent or a manager and you're not going out, well, what am I always saying? Dum, dum, dum.
Sell the goat.
Well, you can sell the goat. Nobody knows what that is here. And everyone's like, what? Or the first and most important thing is to have a conversation. Just have the conversation. Just like any kind of relationship. And you know what you can start with is, this isn't working. Or I'm not happy. Or how can we make this work? Or how do I get out? Or how can I help you? Or what is it that I can do to help facilitate me getting in for these things? You've got to create the dialogue, people. It's up to you. I really think saying, I'm not happy. If I was dating Izzy, I would want her to come to me and say, Tony, I'm not happy. Then there's something I can fix. We can figure it out together. If she doesn't tell me, I think she's as happy as a clam. Why wouldn't you be? Do you know what I mean? But you see, so you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. They have 100 clients or 75 clients. They're working hard. They are working hard. I promise you. So you just got to communicate. Communicate your needs. Your needs cannot be fulfilled if you don't communicate them. And then the last thing is, if you don't have an agent or a manager, it's really, listen, everybody is trying to find the next it. You all in the room are it. You are. Don't let anybody tell you you don't have it. I don't even know what that is. It is an essence that every human being has. Just because Hollywood likes to call it it factor, a star quality, you all have your own firmament. You are your own firmament. You are your own constellation. You are. That's just the birthright of being human. It's just who you are. So you all have it. I think you have to believe it so that it starts to fire. Absolutely. Because if you don't believe it, how can I get somebody else to believe it? You know what I mean? It's like sort of like selling swampland in Florida. Anybody's going to believe it if you're passionate enough about it. But all it takes is a little bit of a modicum of a belief of what's interesting and unique about you. And just because you have doubts about you, yourself, that's also human and part of what makes you it. So you can't discount, oh my God, I don't have what Meryl Streep has. I think what was amazing about Meryl Streep's acceptance speech is she's like, oh my God, half of America is probably rolling their eyes thinking, oh my God, not you again. So you see, she has the same doubts and self-esteem stuff and same worries and concerns that you have. But I think you have to lean more toward, part of that is also part of what gives me my it. That is your stuff. But you run away from it and you hide it because you think, oh, I can't have it. Tom Cruise doesn't have it. He does. Everybody has it. So the last part is about those of you who do not have an agent or a manager, and it's pilot season. It's up to you to figure out what's going on. And you know what? I think the interesting thing is everybody in this business is always looking for someone, whoever that next person is. So everybody in this room has the potential to be that person. So if you find out that there's something that you're right for, you talk to a friend, or you get the breakdowns, or somebody tells you about something, and maybe the casting office is like, no phone calls, or you can't self-submit, or da-da-da. You know what? Doors are made to be open. The last I checked, even though the Postal Service is not really going through a really good time right now, and they're maybe going to, no longer have Saturday service, they still deliver mail. And nowadays what's great is everybody can use this wonderful flip camera, and you can send it off. And so at the end of the day, at least if you feel like you are making progress towards doing something, that changes the dynamic. Why doesn't the homework be, y'all find something that you're right for and self-submit? Just put yourself on tape. What's the big deal? What is the worst that can happen? I mean, I had a conversation with Catherine about something that she was really right for, and she's like, should I call my manager? Should I call her? Yes! And so she did, and she created an opening where the possibility wouldn't have happened had she not picked up the phone and said, you know what, I'm really right for this, can you get me in? Now, if she gets in, that's a double win. But the fact that now they're really working toward her getting in for that, that's the win in of itself. People, it is up to you.